Welcome to Game, your home for exceptional adventures. I am the Game Master, and in today's video, we're going to look at the best RPGs of all time. Before we get into it, if you're looking for more media related projects that we're a part of, you can look up our main website at aspireintegratedmedia.com. So, what is an RPG? Well, an RPG is a game in which players assume the roles of characters in a fictional setting. Players will take responsibility for acting out these roles within a narrative, either through literal acting or through a process of structured decision making regarding character development. Actions taken within minigames succeed or fail according to a formal system of rules and guidelines. So, here's our list of the top 10 RPGs of all time. First up, we have Dark Souls. Dark Souls 1 is From Software's game-changing action RPG. The first in a trilogy of 3, Dark Souls is a third-person action RPG. A core mechanic of the game is exploration, where players are encouraged to proceed with caution, learn from past mistakes, or find alternative areas to explore. Dark Souls takes place in a large and continuous open world environment, connected through a central hub area. The player character can travel between areas and explore various paths at will, although prerequisites must be met to unlock certain areas. Dark Souls will challenge you in every way, so expect resistance from this amazing game. Next, we have Skyrim. And how many times can a game be re-released? Well, look no further than Skyrim. Skyrim released in 2011 to international acclaim. It has since been ported to every mainstream console, including virtual reality. This game is set 200 years after the events of the previous game Oblivion, takes place in Skyrim, the northernmost province of Tamriel. Its main story, it focuses on the player's character, the Dragonborn, on their quest to defeat Alduin, the World Eater. Alduin is a dragon who is prophesied to destroy the world. Over the course of the game, the player completes quests and develops the character by improving skills. The game continues the open world tradition of its predecessors by allowing the player to travel anywhere in the game world at any time, and to ignore or postpone the main storyline indefinitely. This game has a plethora of things to explore, and with the addition of player-created mods, there's a recurring supply of fresh content for this decade-old game. Next up, we have The Legend of Zelda: The Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time is an action-adventure game developed and published by Nintendo for the 64. It was released in Japan and North America in November '98, and Ocarina of Time is the first in the Legend of Zelda series with 3D graphics. Ocarina of Time received widespread acclaim from critics and consumers alike. It won several awards and accolades who praised its visuals, sound, gameplay, the soundtrack, and its writing. It's been ranked by numerous publications as really the greatest video of all time. It's the highest rated game of all on Metacritic, and it was commercially successful with more than 7 million copies sold worldwide. Next up, we have The Witcher 3. Now, the world of The Witcher, it beckons to be explored. Just pick a point on the map and venture off into the unknown. Like, you'll have your trusty horse to call on whenever you need it, Roach, and you can load it with trophies taken from the actual beast you hunt down, or ride your horse into combat to crush the people standing in your way. You also go where no horse can follow, descending deep into sprawling caves, diving beneath the waves to gather herbs and search shipwrecks for long-lost treasure. You'll sail your boat through storms, you'll navigate hostile sea monsters, and find craggy, dangerous shores pounded by waves. Look, this game is rich in mystery and adventure. You can do anything and go across it any way you like. The storytelling in Witcher 3 is unparalleled by most modern games, showing that even within a massive amount of side questing, all of what you see can be engrossing. Next we have Chrono Trigger, and Chrono Trigger was a critical and commercial success upon release and is frequently cited as one of the greatest games of all time. This game is considered revolutionary for its multiple endings, plot-related side quests focusing on character development, a unique battle system, and detailed graphics for its time. The player controls the main protagonist and his companions in the game's 2D world. Areas such as forests, cities, and similar places are depicted as more realistic scaled-down maps in which players can talk with locals to procure items and services, solve puzzles and challenges, or encounter enemies. Chrono Trigger's gameplay deviates from that of the traditional JRPG in that rather than appearing in random encounters, many enemies are openly visible on field maps or lie in wait to ambush the party. Contact with enemies on a field map initiates a battle that occurs directly on the map rather than the traditional separate battle screen. Next we have Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII is nostalgia incarnate. This game's story follows Cloud Strife. He's a mercenary who joins an eco-terrorist organization to stop the megacorporation Shinra from using the planet's life essence as an energy source. Events send Cloud and his allies in pursuit of Sephiroth, a former member of the corporation who seeks to destroy the planet. During this journey, Cloud builds close friendships with his entire party members, including the well-loved Aerith, who holds the secret to saving their world. At its grandest scale, players explore the world of Final Fantasy VII on a 3D world map. This world map is littered with representations of areas for the player to enter, including towns, environments, and ruins. Natural barriers such as mountains, deserts, and bodies of water block access by foot to some areas. As the game progresses, though, the player receives vehicles that help traverse these obstacles. Chocobos can be found in certain spots on the map, and if caught, can be ridden to areas inaccessible by foot or vehicle. The player can explore the environment, talk with characters, advance the story, and initiate event games in this mode. The game is heralded as one of the greatest RPGs of all time, and for good reason. It's recently been remastered with the Final Fantasy VII Remake Edition and currently has part 1 of 3 available for purchase. Next we have Star Wars KOTOR 2, aka Knights of the Old Republic 2. Now, with all the controversy of its launch aside, KOTOR 2 has one of the best campaigns around. It's a showcase, really, of what BioWare can do at the top of their game. The story is focused on the rise of the Sith and the devastation of the Jedi, pitting players as one of the few Jedi fighting to survive. Knights of the Old Republic starts 5 years after the events of the first game and follows the story of the Exile, a Jedi who was exiled from the Jedi Order. During this time, the Order has been almost completely wiped out by the Sith. The game begins with the protagonist waking up from unconsciousness on an asteroid mining facility, and after which the player escapes with the help of their party members. The combat of the Knights of the Old Republic 2 is identical to its predecessor. The players can use a variety of melee and ranged weapons, including swords and firearms. Fighting unarmed is also an option. The player can travel with up to 2 party members at a time who gain experience at the same rate as the player character. Equipment and perks for party characters can be selected for different stats and abilities. The protagonist also has the ability to influence their party members by doing things that impress them. The player increases their influence with them. Depending on the level of influence, party members may support the player character unconditionally or turn against the protagonist. This can create amazing moments with light and dark side ramifications, but some characters can even be trained to use the Force. Next, we have Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima is a beautiful action-adventure game no matter how you look at it. From the lush grass to the wind that carries you to your next objective, every bit of the game is as gorgeous as a Kurosawa film. It's played from a third-person perspective, featuring a large open world that's easily traversed on your trusty horse. The game features numerous side quests which tie into the main story, increasing your general sense of immersion into the game. Players can engage in a direct confrontation with enemies called a standoff, using their katana, which can chain up a series of fatal strikes against a set number of enemies. Additionally, the player has access to bows, which can fire different types of arrows. Using stealth, however, allows one to evade enemies, strike them silently, and use tools such as firecrackers to create distractions, smoke bombs to disorient alerted foes, and kunai for striking multiple enemies. Another standout feature to this game are the famed duels, where Jin will face off against many of the famed Ronin across the land. All in all, Ghost of Tsushima is a fantastic action-adventure game with hours of fun and challenging gameplay at your hands. Next, we have Tales of Arise, and Tales of Arise features a diverse Next, we have Tales of Arise. Tales of Arise features a diverse cast of characters, an intuitive and rewarding combat system, and a captivating story set in a lush world worth fighting for. Tales of Arise delivers a first-class JRPG experience. This game is a return to form for the Tales series and JRPGs in general. From the beautiful open world locations you'll visit to the character interactions, every moment of this game is a blast to play. The storyline will have you on the edge of your seat, while the gameplay will have you challenged right up until the very end. If you haven't yet, you need to pick up this amazing game and fall in love with the cast of Tales. And finally, we have Dragon Age Origins. Dragon Age Origins is BioWare at its absolute best. From its engaging storylines and characters to its action-oriented gameplay that keeps you coming back for more, this game is a true masterpiece. Set in the fictional kingdom of Ferelden during a period of civil strife, this game puts the player in the role of a warrior, mage, or a rogue coming from an elven, human, or dwarven background. The player's character is recruited into the Grey Wardens, an ancient order that stands against monstrous forces known as Darkspawn, and is tasked with defeating the archdemon that commands them and ending their invasion. The game is played from a third-person perspective that can be shifted to a top-down perspective. Throughout the game, players encounter various companions who play major roles in the game's overall plot and gameplay. Well, there you have it. These are our top 10 RPGs of all time. We hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, please subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified every time we release a new video here on Game. Have an amazing day, and remember to have an exceptional adventure today, whether it's in your game or, more importantly, in your life. Enjoy and have fun.